All right. Come on, make it big.
That's what she said.
Right? So you knew about that metal superstore warehouse place?
Fake laugh this morning.
Are we what?
We're doing fake laugh. You just did it.
No, Ron just said something incredibly stupid.
All right. Hi, Ron.
Audrey. Hi. Audrey got her package.
Oh, sweet.
All right. All right.
I sent her the package.
Yes, you did. Yes, it's not as good as the ones in San Diego, but they do it pretty good.
Are you aware of the metal superstore, Ron?
No.
I think they have one in place. It's where I get my
that?
stuff.
It's where you get your stuff or what?
The metal stuff. Well,
Oh.
my plastics
Well,
from the metal part.
But I mean, what's... but you can go in? Because they said you could, that they were like panicked over COVID. You
Let's
had
make
to,
sure it's the same place. I think it's the same place.
Well, that's what I sent you the link for. So
I didn't look at it. We talk. I got 2 hours to talk about it. I got 2 hours.
well, I didn't look at it, so...
I think I recognized it because it's the same place that I go to in Plano. Yeah. I went and got the metal plates from the shop to put on the piers.
Oh, right.
So
Where was...
What? Not even joking.
Let's see if it's the same place.
What? Where? On the old Little Mermaid case. Okay. You search Wiener on Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Case.
So. Let's see.
And Debbie, Brenda, Ginger, and Sarah, and Paula.
Why are you yelling at me? I'm stressed. Pull one up.
Yeah. So see the picture. They have racks of pre-cut stuff.
Right.
You can
Hang on,
order.
here we go. Second.
2, 6, 4,
Rocky.
5.
8 p.m. Eastern. Mojo 50.
Mojo 50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us. Adjust your mojo now. Thank you. The mothership has landed. Brad Staggs. The mighty Mojo 50.
I swear, Ron, I am running out of words.
How come Ron doesn't get a whiff?
Because we were too cheap to have the voice guy say his name. You think I'm kidding?
Oh, yeah.
You think I'm kidding? That's the absolute truth. What can I say?
Old fool.
I told these people I would never lie to them, so I'm not going to lie to them.
Too cheap.
I'm running out of words.
Oh, I got plenty.
To describe the state of the world.
No, there are no more words. We've run out.
We got to stop.
It's bizarre. I
Make a
can't.
new
I mean, surreal, weird, phenorked, effed up, upside down, backwards.
I'm telling you, every time I look at something on the internet now, I have to try to figure out whether it's a plausible statement or not.
I know
Did
it's
this really happen? Probably not.
I
right.
think it's part of the game. Part of the game. I think it's purposeful.
Tired of playing the game, Dave.
It's purposeful. Yeah,
Well-
you got to play the game, or the game will play you. Get a T-shirt.
It is. And if
Some
you
stickers.
T-shirt is the best T-shirt to have right now is the hashtag FJB, which is available at mojo50.com/shop, and you just click on apparel. You will find the hashtag FJB shirt that all the cool people are wearing, and all the cool people are chanting at sporting events and everything else across the country. So,
But that F stick still has a 38% approval rating. What? And this is
I don't know.
dude.
I'd like to find those
This is
38%.
rhetorical, but what farking bonehead dipstick wonka bonka brr would approve
See,
of anything?
you're running out of words
He's
too.
running out of words.
I told you that it's you just.
I'm
I
trying
just
to be, I'm
saw
trying
this.
to be one of you guys.
Saw this tweet from the Peacock Network. Demi Lovato has a new show called Unidentified with Demi Lovato, where she goes in search of like UFOs. Demi
Really?
Lovato?
Is she the one that?
She's not she. She's they.
Oh, she's she.
She, they.
Oh,
They.
She's the she.
No, she's a they.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
They are hosting a show called Unidentified with Demi Lovato.
I'm not doing it.
It's them's greatest show. It's they's greatest. It's a great.
What is that thing?
You mean this? It's
Oh, that is cool.
that is the when times get really serious and tough. We just
When you
turn
run
to-
out of words,
we
just
turn to the
fart.
fart machine because the world is.
Do you see that I had to resort to a burrito this morning? I couldn't get my custom-made sandwich.
What? They stopped making sandwiches at QT?
They did not. I was late.
Oh, that's true. He had to because he was out there dealing with traffic.
Oh, and then get this: as I come out with my burrito and my juice, a lady screams in right next to me at the parking
One
lot
of those.
and says,
For what?
Sir, can you help me fill my tire? I've got a disabled son and a She has a flat tire. I'm like,
Wait.
okay.
Did you remind her to change over to fall air
Oh,
from summer?
I was waiting to get jumped. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be.
Oh, it's
turn out bad.
dark?
It was.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it's at
right. I
the
guess it would be
QT,
dark,
yeah.
right?
But
Yeah, see, I'd be like, hey, I'm late for my bar mitzvah. I got to go by.
Couldn't. She had a kid and two kids.
Did you see the kids?
I did.
Oh,
That's why
all
I
right.
kept my hand, only one hand on the pistol while I was helping. But
It's sad that you have to think that way now.
no, I've always thought that way. That's what makes me who I am. But I filled the tire, helped her out.
I
and
want to like
that's-
people.
yeah, I know.
I want to like people.
You have to. You
I
have to
sat.
try.
I'm the kid who sat on the front porch.
Was
in
she-
Parsons,
was she-
Kansas, and waved, and now I'm.
Yeah,
Was she what,
exactly.
Was she what?
What you were talking? I didn't want to jump in the middle
Was
of
she
your
what?
conversation.
Just say it.
Was
He does
she
it to you.
gracious?
Was she
Yeah, he
hot?
does.
She
What-
was.
She was gracious. Okay, good.
Was she?
She
hot?
was, and she no.
No.
But she looked like she was in help. She had a beat up van. She had a
Did
teenager.
it have windows?
The light was on. I could see
Oh,
everything.
I was going to say because that's a serial killer van. You
Not
helped a serial killer.
Not a creeper van, a minivan.
How do you know that those weren't kidnapped children?
Because one got out and helped me.
Yeah, under.
Did he try to give you a signal? Did he give you?
Hey,
No,
was something wrong with your eye, kid? Why are you winking at
see,
me?
and this is why I'm a successful dad because I got the female teenager. She was the older one. I said, here, hold this, so she couldn't knife me.
Yeah.
I put her.
You gave her the tire iron.
Uh-huh. I
Here,
gave-
hold this.
I gave her the hose. I pulled the air hose out of the machine. I
No,
said, here,
you
hold
can't.
this.
Ha ha! Now she can't knife me. I handed her the hammer just so she couldn't knife me. Well, that's good though. You earned some humanitarian points
It
today.
takes some patience.
You
but,
may go to heaven yet.
I tell you what, QT. Damn, I know it's an Oklahoma-based company.
Yes.
But I sure love QT for us Texans. Oh,
QT
love-
is nice,
Oh,
dude.
QT's great.
QT's
They make
great.
the greatest sandwiches and the burritos are good.
but the guy that works there, I don't know if you know him. He's been here a while. He always says he greets you at the door.
Yes,
When you
that's the oh gosh, how long ago did that start? Because that shows you
QT greeters.
it keeps you it keeps you from stealing. There was a study years and years ago that if you acknowledge
I'm
customers
watching
as they
you.
come through the door, they're aware
Yeah.
of you being
Yeah.
there, therefore you don't steal. So that's not that they're nice, they just don't want you to steal shit.
Don't steal our crap.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
that's what
like
that's
it.
all about.
I still think
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah, it lets people know that we'd
they-
be watching you.
And they know I want my bacon extra crisp on my regular sandwich.
You know, they should be a sponsor of the program,
Uh-huh.
but strangely they're not.
You digress.
Coming up here in a few short minutes, we will be speaking with Jeff Alworth. He is the author of the Beer Bible, the second edition.
Ooh.
I'm just surprised they're still printing books.
I'm happy that they are.
And this is, 600 and some odd pages of beer.
What changed from the first?
That's a
edition?
great question, which we'll ask Mr. Alworth here coming up shortly. We'll also get with Cesar Ybarra coming up in the
I love Cesar.
next half hour from Freedom Works and talk to him about what's happening in D.C. Oh, the rabbit hole that I went down, was this today? I guess this was this morning. McMaster car website. You ever been there?
Oh, I love those guys.
Oh my gosh, this
What
is
is
the
it?
McMaster car. It's McMaster.com, McMaster.com. McMaster.com. They
Oh,
have
holy crap, dude.
everything for anything.
Where are you? Where have you been? I've been buying from them and the Metal Mart for years. And
is it the same
decades.
place? Is the Metal Market the same place?
Yes.
It is. All right. So now
Holy crap.
McMaster car. This is a fabulous. I mean, they've got stuff I didn't know existed.
The coolest thing is you need a weird metric bolt.
Right.
Gaboom! Right there. A metal screw or something with a left-handed metric twist to it. Boom!
That cost $20 extra.
And they will ship it to
Downtown.
you quick, fast, and in a hurry.
I was really impressed with that. This is basically just to show that there are some positive experiences to be had on the interweb. They have, and I bought some this morning, velvet tape by Velvet Jones. I want to be a hoe. How to be a hoe? Velvet tape. It's to reduce, like it's a sticky backed low pile velvet. So if you have like two pieces of, I don't know, let's say in your car, you've got a squeaky spot where two pieces of plastic trim are rubbing together. You could stick.
Well, I'm looking at it right now.
Is that not
Noise
amazing?
Damping velvet tape.
That's one of my fantasies. Have two pieces of trim at the same time. Ringy,
Right?
ringy.
Right there in front. See?
Wow.
See,
Dave.
this is another happy hour.
Oh,
Yesterday, the first hour was a happy hour. I've decided, damn it, we're going to have happy before we delve into hell on earth.
Yes.
Which, don't worry, we'll get there.
McMaster car. I just bought some D-links because on my truck, where you put the safety chains,
About E-links.
the holes. For some reason, this is Ford. Just twists me, but it's
It's because it's a Ford. Sorry.
the holes for the safety chains where you put the hooks in
Right.
are oblong. You can't fit.
A chain.
Well, like your trailer. So on my big trailer,
Right.
you can do it, but your trailer
Right.
won't fit. The hooks, your hooks will not
Well,
fit.
in on the
Your hooks won't fit in my hole.
yes, they will. I can force them in there.
That sounds like a story of my life
Right.
there.
So you have to get these D-links, these hammer link things to
Right.
make it or change. So McMaster car comes through. I'm like, ooh, I want the bright green ones. Yeah. So
Is this not amazing? And they've been around since 1901. How the hell am I just now finding out about them?
You didn't ask me. I've been buying stuff.
Well,
from
why
them for
didn't
years.
it's friends share with friends different stuff. And it's weird. They won an award for the best website. This is back a number of years, but for the most functional, one of the most functional websites behind Amazon and Barnes and Noble,
I had
as
no
far as
idea.
accessibility, because it's real. I mean, you put my search term was fastening tape with adhesive on both sides, I think, and it came up with, I mean, unbelievable. I found stuff I didn't know I needed and ordered it.
OMG. I've got a Metal Mart right here in town.
Yes,
Is it the same? Is it
Metal
the same
Mart. If you
Metal
work
Mart?
with metals, oh, it's fabulous. Look, you can get a glue on a roll adhesive tape dispenser. Who knew?
So
It's an alternative to
I don't
liquid
think it's the same
adhesives.
Metal Mart's good because you can go in and get stuff off the shelf that they have remnants.
Yeah.
So if you need a small piece, it's a big old section.
Who doesn't need a small piece?
But it's also, I just had to have 12 by 12 sheets of 3/8 plate.
Right.
You just walk up and you say, hey, I need it.
I'd need some 3/8 plate.
Cut 12 by, now there's a cut charge,
Right.
but,
See, I need some brass bar stock, flat stock.
and they'll cut, and they have all that stuff, but you can get it cut. So, I mean, there's a cut charge, but it's a hell of a lot easier because they do it on a big break, ka-ching, and they shear it.
Giguere Bear says, and if you want to get in touch with us here, it's what I learned today. Use that hashtag, and you can tag myself and Ron over there, Real Brad Staggs, Real Ron Phillips. Of course, our chief of global security. He does not have he has a hashtag, but we can't tell you because it's secret. Giguere Bear says, good call with McMaster car. It's like a Granger competitor. Is that? I think it kicks Granger's ass.
It
up
does.
and down the road and then shoots it in the head and kills it.
It does.
Is that too
Granger's
drastic?
not as good. It's not, but Granger has a little bit.
I like Granger, but it's no McMaster car.
No, well, the focus is a little different. I don't think you can buy cleaning products at McMaster Car. I've never.
Can you? Ron, can we
I
buy
hope-
cleing products at McMaster car?
I hope
I
not.
don't
Because
know.
I'm thinking, at this point, I'm thinking you can probably get sex dolls
I don't want to.
or stuff to make sex dolls out of. If you were going to make a sex doll, McMaster car probably has all of the stuff that you would need.
If you were going to make it.
So did you look, Ron?
I'm looking. Hang on a
And
second.
how long does it
I'm
take?
getting-
It's like a really cool interactive
Hey,
website.
while he's doing that, I got a filler question.
Yes.
Okay,
Why
You're
do you have
talking-
to
what cleaning? What
supplies?
cleaning?
because you can get those at Granger. You can get trash bags at Granger.
Right.
You can do
Yes,
that.
you can. Oh my God.
See? So are you still thinking it's not as good as Granger?
I never said that.
I think that's exactly what you did say.
Holy crap! You can buy washers and dryers.
no
You
way.
can buy
I'm
washers
not-
and dryers at
Yeah.
MasterCard?
I just never looked.
Yeah.
I've always used them
Holy
for really hard
shnikey.
hardware stuff. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Uh,
So, question.
Yes.
For those of your listeners who A, have teeth,
All right, all 6 of you.
and
open
B,
your
brush
like a
them,
horse. Yes.
do you brush your teeth before or after breakfast?
Well,
Do you get up in the morning before breakfast, brush your teeth, eat breakfast, and then brush
I
your
brush
teeth
my
again?
teeth. I brush my teeth as soon as I get out of bed, so I get the cooties out of my mouth.
do you
I
know what
not
really
brush
bugs
after
me?
breakfast.
Whenever I watch a movie or a TV show and it's like the two, the love, and they wake up in the morning and they roll over there. I'm like, oh, that is nasty.
That is
Who
never
the
happened.
hell wants to kiss the? Ugh. I don't care how hot she is or he is. Brush your damn teeth.
All right. So I got the answer from YouTube.
Yes.
I don't brush until I eat my breakfast. But
That
I eat
makes
my-
sense.
But I eat my breakfast.
Well, you're not slobbing all over. Well, you're a newlywed, so you may be slobbing all over the woman. Now, wait a minute. You're married. You're no longer slobbering.
But
I
I
understand.
just wait till I eat breakfast. I eat
But-
breakfast early.
And orange juice. Why can they not make orange juice that tastes good with toothpaste or vice versa?
Orange juice flavored toothpaste.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Come on, it's our $1 million idea. I don't know. I just thought I did.
Hold on. See if you can get orange juice flavored toothpaste at McMaster-Carr. I'll bet they don't have toothpaste.
I bet they don't.
Well,
have
I'll bet they
toothpaste.
do
Let me
not
see.
have toothpaste at McMaster-Carr.
You think?
Do they? Survey said.
Hang on.
Do they? Yes.
Toothpaste.
Good grief. It's like 9 letters.
I'm looking. I'm looking.
Hit enter.
Toothpaste. Food industry. No, they have grease. They have control. The gas. Let's see.
You
No,
could,
no,
I'm
no
gonna-
toothpaste.
you could
I'm gonna buy a
technically,
washer.
brush
Gear
your
and
teeth
chain
with
grease.
Well, you
It's
got
funny that when I searched toothpaste, it knows to come up with all the tubes. That's crazy.
I know. It is a smart website. Dr. Mojo Martian says, so we're listening to Real Brad Staggs Shop Live. Yes. At least it's not more COVID talk.
Yeah.
Well, that's coming up
Duh. Oh,
very
yeah.
shortly.
Oh, yeah.
I do have our caller, by the way.
Well, without further ado, let's welcome to the Daily Mojo Jeff Alworth. He is the author of The Beer Bible, 2nd edition.
I'm going to
Jeff,
read out my line.
what
was that?
Brad and Ron on the line here.
All right, Brad Snowcook.
Well, yes, I think you have the screener there, Ron. You were close.
Okay. Yeah.
Jeff, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Excellent. It's good to have you on the program. First of all, the first question that I think our
Everyone wants to
director
know.
of global security asked was, why the 2nd edition of the Beer Bible?
What changed?
Wow, what changed from the 1st edition?
Yeah, you wouldn't imagine that beer changes that much, and I didn't imagine it changes that much. But in fact, we're going through one of the biggest changes in beer in probably decades. And the biggest change that's happening is here in the United States with these hoppy American ales that we make that are usually called IPAs, but sometimes other things, which have gone through this massive transformation. And when I finished the book, I actually finished the manuscript for the 1st edition in 2013. That was beginning, and then it changed radically. And I felt like people all over the world now make these kinds of beers, and this is one of the primary reference sources. So when they go and look at the book and look at this chapter, they find a bunch of outdated information. So I felt like I needed to update it for that reason particularly, and then there were a bunch of other little changes that needed to be made along the way as well.
All right, it's funny because one of the suggested questions, because I was curious regarding American beers have sucked for so long. And it's how has American craft beer transformed beer culture across the world? But my question is this: wasn't it the other way around? Wasn't craft beer? I mean, were foreign craft beers more influential on the United States as opposed to the other way around, or did I get that backwards?
No, it depends on when you start the timeline. You're exactly right. This is the way of beer. Beer is this ancient beverage, goes back, long before civilization. Humans had figured out how to make beer.
Right.
And over that time, it has just kind of ping-ponged around the globe, influencing, one style will influence another. And yeah, so you're exactly right. 40 years ago, the United States had a pretty bleak beer scene.
Right.
And we were really looking to Europe. We had basically one style of beer that we made here. And we started trying to make
it just
beers.
tasted like beer, just beer.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fizzy yellow stuff.
Yep.
And then we learned how to make all this other kind of beer. And now when you go to Europe, you will find them making, you go to Brussels, you go to London, you go to Munich, you will find them making American style IPAs. So the ping pong has headed back across the pond.
I just remember the days in high school when we were, it's so much easier to buy beer when you weren't 21 back then. But we'd be drinking Coors Light.
That's all you guys drank.
I know it's nasty. And looking back, and I try to down a Coors Light now. I guess it's good if it's 110 degrees outside, but it's just looking back, the beer was just so blech. And with the craft beers now, especially wheat beers, I call them beer juice, because I feel like I'm getting my daily dose of vitamin C with the the oranges and all the things that they brew these beers with. And it just what was it that kept the United States from getting into the? I mean, why did we hold on to the old ways so long with regard to beer?
It was a combination of factors. Prohibition, of course, was this massive interruption in the way we drank all alcohol.
Right.
And coming out of that, we came into the World Wars, and then right after the World War, the Second World War, we had this massive industrialization. So if you look at all food products, everything got pretty grim. We really moved away from flavorful, fresh kinds of food and beverages, and that happened with beer too. So it was across the whole spectrum of the way we ate and drank. And if you go back to the 1970s and look at, you go to a restaurant, it was not good food, it was not good beverages. And then everything started to change in the 1980s, and that happened with beer as well.
That's a good point.
Jeff, can I ask
go
a
ahead.
question?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Jeff, have the bad beers gone away? Have we changed this? I mean, the number of beers gotten exponentially higher, the scope, so where we have a lot more choice, or have they been replaced? The bad beers, I mean, the quote bad beers, but are they still around?
Coors. Just say Coors.
Well, because that's what you guys drink. Hell, Dodd still drinks all that. Dodd still drinks Coors
I know,
Light.
it's crazy. I don't get it.
So I'm not a drinker myself, but I just wonder, has the scope increased with all the stuff still there, or are those quote bad beers been replaced by different selections?
Yeah, so I try to be a little ecumenical here, and I call them mass market lagers, the ones that you're talking about. Mm-hmm. We have a 200 million barrel industry in the United States, which is, I don't know how many pints that is, but it's billions of pints.
Right.
And that's been pretty static for 30 years. And over that time, if you go back to the early 1990s, all 200 million barrels of those beers, roughly speaking, were mass market lagers. And if you look at that same market now, mass market lagers are, maybe half that. Now we have all this diversity in the craft breweries. There's 9,000 of them in the United States. But we also have other things like ranch water and seltzer.
Oh,
and,
yeah, my kids drink that.
Just right. Yeah. We have this wide variety of stuff because people like choice. And so they like flavor and difference. And those mass market lagers you're talking about that were really popular up through the 1970s, they don't offer much diversity. So people are looking for flavors elsewhere, and they have many, many choices now.
Jeff Alworth is the author of the Beer Bible 2nd edition. It's available, I guess it was just Tuesday it came out, right?
Oh, wow.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's available out there.
Available at your finer bookstores now.
Where did you have another question?
I'm sorry. I apologize for my OCD. That 200 million, that 200 million barrels, is that still static? Has that increased? With the
Yeah, it's funny. It's it's pretty close to static. It bounces up by 10 or 15 million barrels every year, up or down, kind of wavers around there. But despite the fact that the United States gets bigger and bigger, that number kind of stays the same. So we're actually drinking less and less in the beer category every year as a country.
Are the seltzers included in that beer? I know this is a stupid question.
Well, no, it's not stupid because
No.
ranch water is like beer flavored water.
Again, I don't drink. My adult kids come over and drink, and I
Right.
see this seltzer stuff. I'm like, I don't know what the hell it is.
But seriously,
It's not a stupid question at all.
No.
As the market fragments, it's very difficult to try to figure out which category to put these new products in, and they're currently slotted in the beer, and that's mainly because they're taxed like beer. So we call them beer when we're talking about that segment of the industry. But if you ask me as a beer writer if they're beer, I will say no, they're not really beer. They don't really taste like beer. They're not made like beer. They're not beer.
Go figure. It's the tax structure that makes us categorize them in that fashion. Go figure. The government. They don't do anything well. Again, Jeff Alworth is the author of the Beer Bible, the 2nd edition, and it is available wherever you buy paperbacks. You can get the Kindle edition, etc. We usually send them to some link, but I figure people are smart enough now; they'll figure out where to buy the book.
I just got a Christmas gift.
All right,
idea.
Jeff. Appreciate it. Be well. There he is. Beer and that hard ranch water stuff.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I've seen ranch water.
Have you tasted it?
No.
That seltzer stuff. My kids drink that. The girls anyway.
It seems to me if you're going to drink beer flavored water, just again go back and drink Coors Light, because that's what it. Bud Light, Coors Light.
You've tasted it? Is it?
I haven't. But I saw the description. It's like beer. It's water with a hint of beer flavor, or as Ron says, it's a glass of water where they walked by a keg of beer and some of it just kind of wafted in. But
it had that. Would you say it had a hint?
Yeah.
No, it had a.
So, all right. So that was the fun. Next is the politics.
Happily promoting the 4 Fs.
We just burned through a half an hour.
Yes, we did.
Wow.
Burn through like a
before you
biatch.
know it.
I thought you said this is difficult, running out of words and stuff.
Running out of descriptors.
Yeah.
A good amber or a porter. See, I don't like porters. Porters are they're thick.
They're thick.
I don't like thick. I just like Florida Man.
Not a fan of thick beer.
Double India Pale Ale. I don't like IPAs.
Why?
Isn't like Coors an IPA, or that's a lager, isn't it? See, I'm not really good at figuring out what the difference. I just know what I like.
I thought lagers were.
I got a beer mug that we're putting out that says IPA, and then underneath it says lot when I get drunk.
See?
Clever.
See? You are Ron, you are a clever human.
Nah, Misty found that.
Did she?
Oh.
Hold on a second, because we'll work your little commercial into the next one. See, this is how working sponsorships is supposed to work. It's supposed to be seamless.
Yep.
And remember, who was it that
I got Cesar.
Cesar, my friend. Hold on a moment. How are you?
You got it. I'm doing well. Yourself?
6 feet above ground. That's
There
good,
you go.
right? That's good. All right, stand by about 30 seconds. We'll be right back. We need to get
A production assistant.
That too. We need to get an intro cut for. I got to ask Chris to get Cesar an intro, because it's not fair that other people have them
Yeah,
and
that's
he
true.
doesn't.
Ron doesn't have one.
Yeah, he's not,
That's true. No.
Who gives a crap?
With Rod
Right.
Phillips.
Daily Mojo.
All right, let's see here. Whiskey 6 says, I really like a good amber or a porter beer. I just like beer juice. Rebel Patriot, in the early 80s, my stepdad would haul truck loads of Coors from Houston to Cleveland for his buddies. Almost got caught once. That was
found it down.
Yeah, the whole idea behind Smokey and the Bandit. There was a time you could not.
That was Coors, wasn't it?
Yeah, you could not get
Yeah.
Coors east of the Mississippi, and I can't. It was protectionism. They were protecting. So yeah, it's crooked crap has been going on for a very long time. I'd meant to play this prior to Jeff's interview, but I didn't because everything was going so smoothly. I found a way to screw it up.
A beer's much better than a woman. I'll tell you why I'm right.
Right?
A beer will not get mad if I stay out and drink all night.
Uh-huh.
A beer will go down easy.
Yes, it will.
A beer is always wet.
Yep.
Do I want a wife? No thanks. Another beer? You bet.
Thank you, Bob and Tom. I love them.
Wow.
Which is now just Bob.
Oh, it keeled over.
No. Tom he retired from the radio industry, and he's traveling, last I checked, traveling the country with his wife in a motorhome. So, in other words, he's in hell.
He can't enjoy his beer.
On that note, Cesar Ybarra with Freedom Works. Welcome back to the Madhouse, my friend.
How are you, Brad?
Oh, man. I couldn't be better. Do you like beer?
I love beer. It's better than water.
Yes, it is.
Easier. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. Beer is it's just good for the soul. Nothing like it.
What was it? Was it Benjamin? I've seen this quote attributed to so many different people. Beer is proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy.
Probably, I wouldn't doubt it.
That and boobs. So there's, two things.
There is that.
So you can't say that on CNN, can you? Well, you can. But
That was the whole thing. I remember when that. I can't remember who was the radio anchor, but that was funny.
I know, it was great. So Cesar, I guess the biggest thing happening right now in Washington is the fact that we're out of money, but that doesn't mean they're going to stop spending money. What is going on right now in?
Well, by the way, for those listening, the government shuts down today at midnight. Like, that's just how bad it is, right? I always like to say Congress is like the kid who always procrastinated in college, always gets C's and stuff. Like, that is Congress.
Yes.
We're about to run out of money. They're gonna vote on a stopgap spending bill today that is supposed to fund the government until December 3rd. We don't know if it's going to pass or not, but again, they're playing games. This is how you know these guys don't care. Last night they had the congressional baseball game, which, by the way, the Republicans won. It was a heck of a game. They were kumbaya-ing. Joe Biden was there. And it's like, I'm thinking to myself, our country's in a crisis, and these guys are playing baseball.
Right.
I mean, it just
I
doesn't
thought the
make
same
sense.
thing. And Pelosi was sitting somewhere in one of the dugouts, or was sitting there on her phone, looking like she was having a heated discussion with somebody. But
very important discussion.
This whole thing, you're right. I mean, I thought on one hand, you're like, well, it's good to see them out there, getting along, blah, blah. And on the other hand, everything is on fire. Maybe we should wait to put the fire out, then have the baseball game.
That's not ever
And to your point that we're just spending money that we don't have. You have Jen Psaki at the White House saying this bill, and Nancy Pelosi too, by the way, this bill is going to cost $0. Okay, that's not how real life works. I don't get a business deal, make $25,000, and then go buy a car and say, well, this car's going to be free because I just made $25,000. That's not how it works here. And that's literally how they're trying to gaslight the American people. They're saying, well, since we're going to tax the heck out of America's businesses, this $3.5 trillion bill is going to cost $0. That is a lie.
Do you want to know
what?
Do you want to know real quick, just PolitiFact is backing that up?
Are you serious?
PolitiFact, if they just said, see if your time short, the Build Back Better Act could add $0 to the national debt if it balances new spending with new revenues.
If.
Ta-da! If.
That is, they're so full of it. Well, and speaking of PolitiFact, they just hit us with one of our team members got hit up by PolitiFact on a graphic we put up. I want to wait for them to put out the actual hit piece on something we put out on the reconciliation bill. But I mean, these PolitiFact people are so full of it. I mean, it's insane. Like I was telling our team members, we need to dedicate a whole blog just countering, fact checking PolitiFact.
Wait until because I did a little digging. Wait until you figure out who they're organized by, who funds them. I mean, it's pretty apparent which way they lean when you dig into their history. That's not going to be a tough one.
It's no secret. Yeah, they're liberal. They're a liberal watchdog group. That's what they are. They're not. They tend to be nonpartisan, this and that, but they are a liberal watchdog group.
Yes,
and they don't care. And the worst part is, PolitiFact, you would look at it and say, okay, these guys are fair, honest brokers. But when you look at the stuff they're fact checking, I mean, one of our team members was sending me all these things that they're fact checking, and I'm like, who spends money on these people to write these stupid things that make no freaking sense?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a waste of money, and it just shows that, again, America's doing pretty well because we can afford to pay crooks like that.
Isn't that the truth?
But there are people that are still listening to that. I talked about the 38%. And I don't remember the poll, but 38% approval for Joe Biden. Those PolitiFact people who are putting out that crap are hitting those 38% because someone's listening. Someone's listening to that junk because they're still polling in that 38% number.
But and the worst part is they don't do it for the left. I'm sure they fact check one or two things from the liberal crooks, but it's always going after conservatives. It's always like nitpicking anything conservatives say. It's funny. I think PolitiFact. I don't know if it was Washington Post or one of those groups. They were trying to fact check every lie Donald Trump ever said. And I mean, it's Donald Trump, right? You listen to one of his rallies. There's a lot of hyperbole, a lot of adding too much salsa to the taco, for lack of a better term, right? But again, for people to be calling it a lie, etc., it's like, come on, I mean, have a little bit of common sense, right? There's hyperbole. We're humans. Like, we talk crap. It is what it is, and these guys are calling it a lie. Like, a lie is supposed to be a sin, and people forget that. And again, we just nowadays we put too much stock in these like bad things, and we make false comparisons, and that is what concerns me, right? It's like when Joe Biden calls voting rights bills Jim Crow 2.0. I mean, did you forget what really went down in Jim Crow era? I mean, that was pretty bad stuff.
Jim Eagle. Jim Eagle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's bad to compare horrifying events in our history to what's going on nowadays, because there's just there's no comparison.
No, you're absolutely right. So, all right. So getting back to the DC thing right now with the stopgap.
Yep.
I mean, I've almost run out of questions regarding the national debt and the infrastructure bill and the stopgap spending bill. Let's see, what's the other one? There's like three.
The debt limit.
There's like 3 or 4 things that they need to vote on. That again, we don't have any of the money.
There's big 4 spending fights, right? You got reconciliation, you got infrastructure, you got the government funding, and then you got the debt limit, which Janet Yellen just said it's going to be the debt limit's going to be we're going to hit the debt limit on October 18. So they got a lot of work to do. And here's the thing. I think we have a chance at tanking both bills. Like, I don't think the Democrats have the votes. I mean, they're supposed to put the infrastructure bill up for a vote today as well. I don't think they have the votes to pass it. You have Manchin and Sinema. They've been at the White House all week, and they have been, they have been opposing the $3.5 trillion bill. And I don't think the Democrats have the votes so far, but they're holding the line. And we hope they continue holding the line because Sinema has said, I have concerns that Arizona businesses are going to be taxed a lot. And she doesn't want that. I mean, kudos to her, right?
Yeah.
What common sense? I don't want my constituents to be taxed. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican, good for you. So anyway, that is what's going on right now. And I don't think the Democrats have the votes. And if this trend continues, I think we're going to be in a good spot to kill both bills. And I can't remember what senator said it. But he said, at some point we just have to, throw in the towel. and hopefully we get there soon.
Do you remember the Texas Democrats who all boarded the COVID Express and went to D.C. and spent 2 months there?
Oh, yeah.
But we all knew
With
how
the
it was going to
Miller Lite
end.
and-
Yeah, exactly. The crappy. I know, and they had such shitty tasting beer too. Miller Lite. Ugh. It's worse than Coors Light. But I digress. So and then they come back to Texas, and of course, we knew what was going to happen. Is the legislation passed regarding voting laws. So taking that as maybe a little teaser for what this infrastructure bill vote will be. I mean, so Manchin and Sinema have the street cred now for saying, well, we opposed it the whole way. And then when it comes to voting, we just had to say, we had to vote yes.
I think they'll hold the line.
Well,
yeah,
maybe not on the infrastructure.
I think they hold on because here's the. I mean, I think we've been saying this for a while, right? But I think both sides, the progressives and the Manchins and Cinemas, are having a good stare down. The progressives in the House are saying we're not going to give you the votes today to pass infrastructure until the Senate passes the $3.5 trillion bill, or at least until the Senate agrees to a lower number. They're not even there on the agreeing to a lower number. So I just don't see how they pass infrastructure today. And at some point, the little gig gets very old. People get tired of it, and you just lose momentum. And when you lose momentum, it's done. And again, when they're saying we need to get this done, we need to get this done. If they wanted it to get it done, they would have gotten it done. That means our country does not need these bills. We don't need these bills because if our country really needed these bills, they would have been passed today with bipartisan support. So I don't know. I hope, and put me on the record here. I think both bills will die. Hopefully next week, my statement remains correct, but we'll see what happens.
All right. So again, getting into the the terror tactics that they always try to bring about when it's time for them to raise the debt ceiling. We talked yesterday about the fact that I think the American public, for the most part, is like, you know what? We just lived through the year of absolute hell and misery. Y'all can't scare us with a government shutdown, so go F yourselves. And I think that for the most part, at least I would hope, that's the opinion of the American people. I don't think they care if the government shuts down at this point or not. Do you?
Well, here's the thing. I talk to folks back home. They don't know what's going on. They don't care. I'm like, hey, are you guys following what's going on? Like reconciliation and debt limit, this and that. And they're like, what? What's happening? I mean, they're too busy. Like they don't care. Like this is a DC game. It's the same thing that they do every 2 years. Brad, they're probably going to extend the debt limit through December 16, 2022, and next year. After the midterms, we're going to be having this discussion all over again. Oh, we're going to default on the debt, etc. The American people do not trust these crooks. That's why they're not paying attention. The only people that pay attention, it's groups like us, who we get support to be tracking Congress and be their watchdogs. But the American people don't care because they've lost trust of all these crooks in Congress.
I think you're right. Did you say 2022?
Yeah, they're trying to extend the debt limit through December 16, 2022, yes.
Holy shnikes. I mean, that's just...
Yeah.
I'm running out of words to describe the condition of things.
It's not real money. It's not real. It's just this fantasy game. They just check the box. Yeah, we'll just bump it up.
Well, and not only that, but that's why this whole digital currency thing is terrifying. Because and Dan Bongino broke it down very well yesterday on his radio program. He, I think he probably got the idea from us, but he was talking about the fact that once they do, and I think they're going to go to a digital currency sooner rather than later. They're going to be able to track where you spend, what you spend, how you spend, and they'll be able to restrict your spending.
Well, yeah,
It's scary because, and then now we're talking about civil liberties, which again, every year since our country's founding, they've been getting, our civil liberties have been infringed. And if you look back at our country's history, this is the least free we've ever been, right?
Yeah.
And our civil liberties are being infringed upon, from like the NSA, the FBI, like just all these things. And then you look at digital currency. Yeah, I haven't read too much into this digital currency thing you're talking about, but I wouldn't put it past the government to be cooking up those kinds of schemes to be able to see what Americans are doing.
They don't like Bitcoin.
Well, and add the proposition. I mean, I use that term generically. The $600 limit.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
the banks, but there's some pushback on that now.
There is, but it's still in the way that it's going.
Right.
The other day, I don't know if this is relevant, but I had to get some cash to buy some stuff, and you know the largest bill you can get at the bank?
What?
$100.
Really?
$100 bill.
Well, that is the only bill. That's the largest bill they make.
But I'm talking about the trend. Remember, what was that movie with Robert Redford
Yep.
way back? You could get a 10,000. He had a 10.
Right.
So
yeah.
you can't. They don't want you to do transactions in cash. So
No,
now,
they don't.
If you want $10,000, you're going to walk out of there with a suitcase, and pretty soon it'll be $20 bills because that limits the amount of transaction you can do off the books.
Yeah,
It's
they
gonna be
haven't. They
digital.
haven't made $1,000 bill.
Well,
in a
and
while.
I mean, I may be getting too much into conspiratorial here.
No,
forgive
not
me,
here.
but I mean,
Not on
here,
this
you're not.
program.
well, no. Well, here's the thing. They want to go into full digital everything. I mean, what happens when there's a power outage? Like, how are you going to get money out of? Like seriously,
no,
power
you're
outages
right.
happen all the time. You know what? I mean, you're in Texas, right? Didn't Texas just go through a big power? Last December and.
But the government, they're in
how-
charge of the power grid, so they're not going to let it fail.
Exactly.
The ATMs always.
And that's the thing. That's what scares me a little bit about this whole digital game. It's like there needs to be some sort of relevance for like physical money and like I don't know. It just scares me. It just scares me. That's why I think it's a little bit conspiratorial. But
you're right.
We need to go back to basics. Like I think it was Bill Maher. It's like people ask me what's your liberal guilty pleasure. It's like listening to Bill Maher. But he said America's trying to over-engineer things, and like at some point we have to stop. We got to go back to basics. When we try to over-engineer stuff, things go wrong, and it turns into a disaster because we're trying to make our lives too easy. Now you just can get on your phone, order food, and you're good to go. I mean, we're becoming worthless humans.
I still say the RFID chip in your wrist would be so much fun.
Yeah.
It starts your car, you go to 7-Eleven and boop, you just wave your arm over the little cash thing, and that you don't have to carry keys, you don't have to carry money, you don't have to carry anything. Yeah. Now the downside is they can shut you down as a human, but that's a price.
It's a price.
So we need to go back to basics. We need to stop over-engineering things. And again, Congress is also complicit because they're pushing these things bill by bill, year by year, little provision by provision. And it creeps up on people. Like people don't understand. And then you get crooks like PolitiFact working day in and day out to try to challenge everything you're saying. And I don't think we have anybody on the right. Do we have a PolitiFact on the right?
No.
I don't think we do.
Well.
But we should. We should because maybe FreedomWorks should start fact checking the fact checkers.
That's not a bad idea. I mean,
fact checking the fact checkers. I love that.
Yeah, there truly is not really a right leaning fact check. Well, the problem is if there ended up being one, then the hosting service would just shut them down. Kind of like they did with America's Frontline Doctors and the rest of those people.
Well, and they did it with Parler too. It's like, free market, this and that. Well, start your own social media page. Okay, Parler did it, and what did Apple do? Well, we're not going to put you on our app store. What did the web services do? Well, we can't host your website.
Yeah.
Is there really a free market in tech?
There's never been a free market.
That ship has sailed.
There's no free. That ship sailed a long time ago, and so there is a case to be made on why there's a lot of people in the conservative movement, even the free marketeers, who are saying, "Wait a minute, there's a there," and I just think the conservative movement needs to come to grips and then figure out how we're going to deal with, these big tech companies because again, that's what I like to say. There's a there. I don't know what the ideological and conservative philosophical way to go about it. It's a very complex question, but we need to deal with these people because they do not care and they do not have our best interest. in mind. All they care about is our data, what we search, what we look at. That's all they care about.
Well, the good news is that those big tech companies are generally run and have employed a bunch of beta males. So at some point, we just have to kick their ass.
We can just take them.
I mean, I hate to be a proponent of violence, but at some point.
Beta males are being employed by just about every major institution in America. I mean, you look at big banks, you look at, big business, just everything that's big in America, they're being run by beta males
with man buns. With man buns. They all have man buns, and it's just really, it's disturbing.
Well, and the worst part is they probably, that they can't even change a tire on their car, and it just kind of shows that just how bad our society has.
We have sunk.
Now. I mean, the fact we are sunk. I mean, if you're to poll the average beta male in America, they don't know how to change a tire in their car, and they're going to call AAA.
Yep,
and that's an embarrassment.
Yes, it is. Well, this has been fun, Cesar. It's been. I don't think we solved a damn thing, but I'm not sure they're solving anything anymore.
Just as an exit note, today's going to be a consequential day. I hope everyone's following, because the government shuts down at midnight. Pelosi's supposed to be putting up the infrastructure bill on the line. Like, today is, I hate to be hyperbolized, but it's a consequential day in America, and I hope everyone's tracking, because if you want to take any action today, today's the day to call your members and tell them to do the right thing.
Good idea. Cesar Ybarra is the Senior Director of Legislative Affairs at freedomworks.org. You can get involved with FreedomWorks by going to their website and signing up, and at least try to be part of the solution instead of part of the problem. All right, buddy. Be well, and we'll see if the place implodes later on today. Fun fact, the largest denomination of currency that was ever printed by the Bureau of Engraving and Printing was the $100,000 Series 1934 gold certificate.
And that was just used
$100,000.
$100,000.
Right. That was for interbank transfers and stuff.
Yeah, it was. It featured Stu's favorite president, Woodrow Wilson.
But I mean, that is a chilling addition to the addendum. No, addition.
Sure, agenda
to this. But the little tidbits, as Cesar said, but it's 1,000 cuts.
Oh yeah.
So now you can't get money.
Mm-mm.
If you have to buy something, you have to get. And then when I went in there to the bank, anything over $20,000.
Report. It has to be reported.
Well,
now I know
they're trying to drop that down to $600
to $600.
Anything over. I had to give my ID. They asked me what my occupation was. I said narcotics trafficker. What do you think? Give me my parking money.
Did they make you tell them what you did, or did you just say no? I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, I made up something.
Okay,
good. Rodeo clown.
Because there was somebody else that I know that went to the bank and was opening up an account, and they, first of all, took forever. Secondly, it was like, oh, you don't have any beneficiaries on your accounts here. So if you were to die, the government take your money and blah blah blah. And they asked the person behind the counter, well, who gets the information? I mean, if I have a will and I already say in my will all my accounts go to Joe Blow, isn't he going to get? Well, yeah, but this is just an added layer of protection. Well, who gets that information? I mean, who do you send the beneficiary of these accounts is so and so? Who gets that information? Well, we did. Did you send that to the government? Yeah.
That's why it's not in there.
How about take a flying leap off a tall effing building?
Dude, we used to do money services businesses back in the early 2000s, and that was right after the 9/11 and the Patriot Act.
Yep.
That's when they changed it to $10,000. Anybody doing anything with $10,000 or more got reported, period.
Yes. And that has stuck.
Telling me
stuck
now
around.
that they're moving that down to $600.
There's pushback on it.
Yes. So but that is the proposal right now for transactions, and in that bull crap Pelosi bill, the infrastructure or what's the 3.5 one called?
I don't.
Infrastructure is
Build Back Better.
I thought
There's
infrastructure was the
4
1.5.
bills. So.
At any rate, one of those. There's the IRS is getting. They want them to get $72 billion
For more agents.
For more agents, but that's to be able to track that. So
No, but Biden got out there and said, well, this is to track the uber wealthy and corporations, so they can't bullshit. It's to track all of us.
Yeah, you can't buy a couch,
right,
without the government knowing you bought a couch. And I can't even take out my own money, so it was $20K for you to take out your own money. If you take out your own money, it has to be noted that you took out that money. And they want to know.
Protect us from terrorists.
It's for your own protection.
They just freaking lie.
Yeah, and but 38%. That's between a third and
38% of this country apparently are morons.
But they're okay. I think
or socialists.
What are the good Fox, the talking heads, guys that have their own, Hannity and
Tucker?
And Tucker, one of those two guys.
Hannity
was talking. I know. Yes, I agree. But I couldn't remember which one. They talked about the America turning to love authoritarianism.
People who tell us what to do.
Yes.
Them.
They like that it's actually a thing. Just look at it.
Sometimes Ron and I play that little game where he makes me spank him because it's like I shouldn't have talked about this yet, should I?
No, not on the air.
All right, sorry.
No, wait till you go to the song.
Well, let's talk about the COVID booster pint glasses that you can get over at Romika Designs, Ron, because these are going to be very popular since beer.
Yeah, beer. I mean, and we can do something other than COVID booster on the pint glasses.
Could you put like my name on one?
Yeah, we could put your name.
Could you put my face?
Yeah, we could put whatever you want on those glasses.
So you could put my face anywhere, pretty much.
I could put your face in a lot of places.
Okay,
yes,
all right, just checking. You
didn't see that one coming, or you just knew it was? You knew it was coming.
We've got we're about to come out with a line of beer mugs now. The beer steins. Glass beer steins, yeah.
Where do you source?
That's great, though. Your mug on your beer mug.
Yeah.
Your mug on your mug.
You're welcome.
Where do you source the steins, the mugs? Are they Chinese-made?
China.
I do not know
Don't
where
buy
they
them
come
from China.
It's China. Well, who the hell else makes them?
You want me to find one?
In America?
I don't have a screen.
You have a space for a laptop.
Son of a...
We provided you with a free interweb connection here at the Desert Air Motel. We used to charge $9.99 per show, but we dropped that charge just so you could have a screen, and yet you refused to bring it.
I have a comfy chair that makes me happy.
So, seriously, is there a place in this country that makes glasses or glassware or silverware or anything like that?
Oh, yeah.
I bet there's not.
Yeah, Cutco makes their flatware here, so there's silverware.
All right, where's the glasses? You don't know.
I gave you the flatware, man. I did.
Talk about somebody coming to the show unprepared.
I did my part.
Well, you can get your Chinese COVID booster shot glass.
Wow.
At romikadesigns.com. You've encouraged him, Ron.
Wow,
I'm just a
him.
member of the peanut gallery here. romikadesigns.com. Get yours today. See, a saddle effing tramp, the beating is for your health.
Makes you better.
That's in regards to the Australia thing going down.
Oh, yeah.
The outdoor mask mandates and shelter-in-place. This world is nuts.
That they have not taken to the streets and fired that place up is beyond me. That just shows they're in the 38th percentile.
I don't know that that's... Well, we'll talk about that in the next hour as the world continues to burn, baby, burn on your Daily Mojo.
Clear.
People don't want to fight. I get it.
No, it's
but
livelihood.
No, it just takes a freaking lot of energy.
Yeah.
Well, and to upset your comfortable life. Well, I can't, because then I won't be able to make my car payment. My kid won't be able to go to school. I'll lose my job until you realize that all that stuff's going to happen anyway.
That's what people are going through now, Dave, with the freaking mandates at their jobs.
Oh,
do I get the shot or do I lose my work, my income? You know.
Yeah, and everything associated.
And
with
I
that.
guarantee you, there's a lot of pressure being pushed at homes because of that.
Oh yeah.
You know, you got to have this mental argument with yourself. You know, is my family important? Yeah, of course they are. Is my job important? Yeah, of course it is. Do I want to get the shot? Hell no, I don't want to stick that in my body.
But we've got politicians telling healthcare workers what to do.
That's true.
Which is
for their own good. For their own good. which has been disproven for your own good.
Every day it gets weirder and freaking weirder. Let's see.
What are you typing?
The factoid of the morning regarding money. COVID. Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. The COVID. Restless anal syndrome.
restless anal.
I'm not kidding. It is.
Oh, hey, how come that one girl that would never cut my hair when we were just out of high school?
That girl that would never cut your hair.
I don't want to say her. You have to say her name. I'm not going to out her.
Well, why would Brad do it?
No, I'm giving him the. It's his. The
I don't even know who you're talking about.
How many girls cut your hair in
My hair?
Lancaster?
Oh, Crystal and Debbie.
I don't remember. No, Davenport?
Yep.
Cut hair? Yep. I didn't know that. But Crystal would never cut my hair. She cut yours and Dodd's and probably gave you Hummers, but I didn't get no haircut. I'm the only one that had to get haircut for a living.
Chris listens on occasion too, so I'm sure she enjoys knowing that.
That's why I said, hey, you, and let the record state that you brought up her name and not me. But she never cut my hair. And I was in the military. I need my hair cut.
Why wouldn't she cut your hair?
She never would. She would never cut my hair.
Maybe it was the restraining order.
I was wearing the same house. She cut your hair and Dodd's hair and didn't cut my hair.
Same house?
Like in Dodd's house. Like when we hang out at Dodd's.
Why wouldn't she cut your hair?
She would never cut my hair. I don't know. She would never
You've
cut
been
my
carrying
hair.
this around for how many years now?
Well, I just realized Julia cuts hair. I'm like, oh, this is
okay. The benefits of
this is so cool.
The
Yeah, my
irony
hair
of not having hair when you finally get that into that position is ironic. But
yes,
but yeah, growing up and dating a cosmetologician or whatever they're called,
cosmetologist, cosmic
radius
cosmetologist.
I mean, you never paid for hair. Well, you did. Come on.
You paid for
Oh,
everything.
you paid for it.
But it is kind of cool.
Come to think of it, I'd rather go pay at the.
Wow, I may have that, Brad.
What? Restless anal. Oh, I sent it to you too, so you could
Yeah.
be looking
Holy
at what
crap.
it is.
I don't have
I
it.
see what you did.
I know I don't have it.
You know what it is?
He's bouncing up and
I feel the urge to move.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
No, I'm asking Dave.
he's trying to. I'm not going into that. I'm not being sucked
Why?
into that nightmare.
What nightmare?
The nightmare inside your head.
Medics say that COVID's impact. All right. All right. Here we go.
You bring it up, I'll deny it.
On Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and D-Live.
If we weren't so bad,
To puppy rape.
I like to cuss.
Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titty.
we wouldn't be so good. Mojo 50. The mothership has landed.
F in Florida man said, so is Dave just hanging out on his day off, trying to avoid the honeydew list? Or he may have a list of people he has to off. We just don't know. Squatching Duck says, burn, baby, burn, in regard to the entire planet. And Mojo Martian, there's a business opportunity for a listener. Start making glasses and selling them to real Ron Phillips. Not a bad idea. I mean, how hard can it be to make a glass? I mean, just get some glass stuff and form it into a glass and
start.
Yep.
piece of cake. As long as you don't have restless anal syndrome.
Restless anal syndrome.
And to thank you, Squishing Squisherman person on Twitter. I can never read his name. It's something squidgy. A COVID-infected man, 77 years old, developed restless anal syndrome. It left him unable to sit still. The man was treated in a hospital for what medics say was a mild case of COVID. He suffered deep anal discomfort several weeks after being discharged.
Mm-hmm.
The medics say COVID's impact on the body's nervous system not fully understood. He was Japanese. I guess he still is. Not that he was turning Japanese. But it's the world's first case of restless anal. You know, when I first heard of restless leg syndrome, I'm like, dear God, how many things are we going to have.
Look,
how many syndromes are we going to come up with?
I think restless leg syndrome is a huge deal.
Well, now these days I'm like, yeah, because I've had it where I'm like,
Yep.
I can't get my legs comfortable.
Yep. I can't stop shaking, can't stop moving.
But what
especially if you're-
causes that? It's the
I don't
same
know.
thing.
It's got to be nerves. I mean, it's got to be like anxiety or something.
Anxiety or a deficiency in your diet or something else. But this
Maybe,
this
yeah.
cat with the 77-year-old, if you're 77, you might have a couple of things wrong with you.
He
And-
said he began to suffer deep anal discomfort about 10 centimeters above his perineum, which is the region but
perineum.
Above
perineum. Thank
Taint.
your taint.
you. Yeah, his taint.
Right.
This gave him an essential urge to move, according to medics who
10
treated him.
centimeters above it? What do you mean, like in it or above?
Probably, but
You're going to have
toward the
laterally?
front. I don't- yeah, that's
Or
probably
vertically
right.
or what?
Defecation did nothing to relieve the man's discomfort.
Hey, they ride bikes in Japan a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe he
Maybe.
rode his bike.
Well, he said exercise such as walking, running, or playing playing motion-based video games alleviated his symptoms,
Yeah. So I mean, but this is
while
just-
taking a rest and staying still made them worse.
yes, but it could be a muscle
like it.
spasm. It just drives me nuts when we can.
See what you did there.
Everything's COVID related.
I got a dookie.
Come on.
He's a former Navy SEAL and Muppet enthusiast. Please silence all cell phones and electronic devices and enter the skip. Prepare to be debriefed. Now presenting the Mojo 50 Global Security Brief, Lord David.
So your verdict on whether or not anal restless is it
Syndrome. It's-
whatever
It's complete bullshit.
uncomfy butt. You think it's bullshit?
I do-
Ironically.
Yeah, I think it has.
So what was wrong with this
no,
guy?
No, complete bullshit to link it to COVID. How do we know what happened to that cat? Come on, Ron, you got something to say? I can see.
No,
it in
I
your
don't.
eyes.
I agree with you.
We've bitched about this for the whole last 18 months about there's no flu, there's no this. Oh,
See, this stories like this, Dave, just give people who have had COVID or think they've had COVID an excuse to give to their employer to say why they can't come to work today.
Yeah, you're just.
I'm sorry, I'm having restless anal syndrome.
Who's
going to
argue with
dookie.
you? Who's going to argue with you? That's
right.
the beauty of it.
All right, I'll buy that. That's fun.
So the whole horse paste.
Can't come to work. I got to take a doo-doo.
Yeah, I got to take.
Did you see that? I sent it to you. The whole ivermectin thing.
I thought we couldn't say that. Yes.
Oh, yeah. We
we're
decided we're going to get shit canned on YouTube anyway, so
So-
it doesn't matter.
Let's talk about global security stuff since that's my job. Brad.
Brad wasn't finished with his statement, were you?
Oh.
Not really.
Okay, go
But
ahead.
I figured
wanna hear
we
it.
I was cutting him off.
ivermectin, the horse paste.
Yes.
Did you see the information forwarded to you?
Yeah, the doctors one.
Pfizer.
I thought that was the frontline doctors.
Pfizer this past Monday announced it is launching an accelerated phase 2 of 3 trial for a COVID prophylactic pill designed to ward off COVID in those who may have come in contact with the disease.
No, you sent me the Americans frontline doctors one.
No. Pfizer's drug shares, the Pfizer drug shares at least one mechanism of action as ivermectin, an antiparasitic used in humans for decades, functions as a
Protease.
that too, inhibitor. And the new drug, which some have called Pfizermectin, is described by the pharmaceutical giant as a potent
Protease.
that inhibitor.
Inhibitor.
So it's that is likely why we have seen such pushback on the ivermectin narrative, because Pfizer has a very similar drug coming out very shortly. They're with it. Well, I don't know why they're bothering to go through all the trials. Why the hell? Why just release the damn thing?
It's called Myverectin.
Right. It has nothing to do with. But you're always saying, as I've always said, you got it from me. Follow the money.
You didn't. You didn't
I've
send me
always
that
said
one.
that.
How about-
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. I'm looking at it right now.
Damn it! I sent that.
You didn't send it.
You know
on
what?
iMessage.
This is just another example of us being host.
Louisville.
It's right there.
Louisville.
Frontline COVID-19 critical care.
You didn't
Want to
send
know?
it to
This
me.
is why ivermectin is being suppressed and censored.
You didn't send it to
The
me.
one, the thing with the Pfizer thingy. Click on that.
That says
Click on that.
this is the go to frontline COVID.
Go to that,
I did.
and it told you.
No, that was the frontline doctors. We're not going to take it anymore. We're pissed off. Yada yada.
We're not going to take it.
Anymore.
What? Are we not going to take it? Are you sure we're not going to take
You're
it?
gonna take it.
Are we not going to take it? Oh, you'll take it if we give it to you. All right, that's enough. It's Earworm Wednesday was yesterday.
So, I thought that was the America's Frontline Doctor thing.
They're screwing us.
And I'd already read. Oh yeah, but that 38% still going to vote. Yes.
Yep.
Oh, thank goodness Pfizer's there. We are saved because there's going to be a drug. But wear your mask.
Is Ivermectin.
Ivermectin.
Wear your mask. And get your vaccine.
Oh, that was the other thing. The CDC put out that chart for mask wearing yesterday. I guess it's been there for a while on the CDC's website, and basically says the difference between the N95 and just a plain old surgical mask. Pretty much in the column of these just regular surgical mask, not designed to filter out. It says right there on the CDC website, pretty much counters every reason that we've been given to wear.
But that's happened over and over and over. The death rate, the reinfection rate, everything's on the CDC website, and people still do it.
Now, what meaningless security horse crap you were bringing us?
Since we're talking about Fauci anyway. So, did you see that little interview with Fauci talking about the Israeli study? He was
no.
So, I can't remember
Do
the
not
program.
know what you are talking about.
I wish I could do that accent like you.
You do not know what you're talking about.
What
Hey,
you
Dr.
are
Anthony Fauci.
What you are talking about.
That too.
He was having an interview with some news channel, and they asked him about the Israeli study about the breakthrough infections and natural immunity. And he said, essentially, I don't know.
Good question. I have no idea.
I have no idea.
So-
Pretty much trying to get him to say, well, with immunity, the natural immunity, which no one has talked about.
No.
Natural immunity
Nope.
is there. But so the Israelis are highly vaccinated. This herd immunity concept is still, remember that? We just have to get everybody to the break point of herd immunity.
Which is now, what do we need? 96 to 98% of the population needs to be vaccinated to reach herd immunity.
Right.
That's the latest number.
Leaving out people who have already had the infection and have antibodies in them.
How is there not pushback on all this stuff? 98% of the population needs to be vaccinated to get herd.
And
that's never going to happen.
It's never happening. But it's also, well, if you're getting the vaccine, aren't you protected?
No.
No, you're not. 'Cause
Matter
you
of fact, what the hell's the difference anymore?
You got to get a booster,
Right?
Because you never know. We're going to keep getting boosters forever. So I just thought that was horrible, and yet he still got his job. That Fauci can say he is the top infectious disease
and the highest. He's our highest paid employee.
But
highest paid.
But he's also supposed to be the most knowledgeable, and he comes across with, I don't know about that study. There's nothing to see here. We have no idea about natural infection or breakthrough infections versus natural immunity, getting a second infection, blah, blah, blah. How does he not know? He's lying. He's lying.
The whole thing is
criminal. It's criminal.
Yeah. That's the VAERS site. They say, and this is over at Uncanceled News. It was in full transparency, it was authored by somebody at Children's Health Defense, which is the Kennedy. Is that Robert Kennedy? What's his name? Joe Kennedy.
Joe Kennedy was the dad.
No, the RFK's kid.
Oh,
whatever. He's the senator.
Robert.
Yeah, Robert. Kennedy.
No. Robert.
Yeah, Robert Kennedy. Whatever. He's
JFK's
Kennedy.
kid.
No. Robert Kennedy's kid.
Robert.
Bobby.
Kennedy's kid. Yeah.
So anyway, he's and he was one of them came forward and said that Sirhan should be
Released. Yeah.
released. So anyway, so that's his website, which, by the way, YouTube is now taking down.
Of course.
Children's Defense Fund taken down. Title of it is Safety Signals for COVID Vaccines Are Loud and Clear. Why is nobody listening? There's a disproportionately large number of adverse events reported to the VAERS site from COVID-19 vaccines compared to other vaccines. There are 91 times the number of deaths and 276 times the number of coagulopathy.
Coagulopathy.
That too. Events reported after COVID-19 vaccination than after flu vaccination. Safety signals were found for 242 adverse events. And the real kicker, the number of deaths reported to VAERS. Let me make sure I say this right, because it's like, holy crap. The number of deaths for all other, I'm just going to put this up on the screen, because when you see it, it will blow your mind.
Oh, if only I had a screen.
Ron,
what am I seeing?
How much more do we have to give him? We provided him a free. We no longer charge for the interweb connection.
Hell, I don't have to. I have to get over here on the web and
if you just look
Facebook
around there,
to look at his screen,
you will
too.
see the total number of deaths reported to VAERS since 1990.
Holy crap!
Yeah, there have been 14,500 deaths reported to VAERS for COVID-19 vaccines, compared to 8,600 for the preceding 30 years of all other vaccines. But and they come back and say, well, the VAERS, that stuff's not, you can report anything to VAERS. Well, we certainly have a big ass problem of a bunch of people reporting stuff. I mean,
right. Doesn't that at least deserve a halt?
Right.
Oh, hey, let's reevaluate what's going on.
Right.
Let's make sure it's okay.
Who can could I get onto VAERS and report something?
That I don't know. It's out of my
no idea, but so are they suggesting that it's just a ring of
course
people want to, these are COVID conspiracy people, and they're going to
Trump supporters,
and they're getting on there and they're just falsely reporting all these.
It's like Wikipedia,
right?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, it seems it would be pretty easy to find them, because they all have an IP address, right?
Yeah.
So why? Oh wait, the FBI's busy. I mean, you'd think that they'd be tracking this crap down and silencing these people who are lying on a nationwide information system regarding health.
Nope.
But nope, which leads me to believe maybe there's a problem.
I can erase the getting a haircut and a Hummer one. All right. Ching off the list.
Really? You going to Starbucks later?
Oh,
yeah.
That's what was that in Idiocracy where you got the latte and the reach around? Remember that?
I didn't see it.
You've never seen Idiocracy?
No, I need to watch it again.
Oh
It's
my!
been a while.
I know you told me
We've
about
actually passed the point of Idiocracy. I think in this country, it is.
That's one of the Owen brothers.
Stunning.
Right?
Yeah. Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson.
Or
The Wilson brothers.
Wilson. No, it wasn't Owen. It's the other one. Maybe it's Owen. Anyway.
One of the Wilson brothers.
So
last thing I have to say about the COVID stuff is, did you hear the
It is not Owen Wilson.
The other one. Yeah.
The other Wilson.
The other guy. Did you see the Clark County representative talk about how proud they were to make COVID-19 misinformation a crime? Did you see that guy?
I'm ashamed to say I was born there.
I know. When did you come to California? You went to Boron, didn't you?
During the gold rush. Some other miners and myself, we were traveling cross country.
Did you come straight to Boron?
Gaily forward, never straight.
Did you arrive straight?
That remains to be seen. Doctors are still out.
Boron. Did you go right to Boron from Las Vegas?
I have no idea. What's he even talking about?
You
No,
went
there were many places in between.
I didn't know that.
Across this great land of ours. You know, when you've been alive for 300 years, you get to see a lot of places.
Yeah. So it was just he's giggling with joy. He's very, very proud that they could make COVID-19 misinformation.
But they don't say what the penalties are.
Oh, I know.
What are the penalties?
I don't know.
And this is in Nevada. This is the county that covers Vegas and other Boulder City.
Not the Strip, though.
Is the Strip a different? It's technically not Las Vegas, is it?
Yeah, it's not
Or is
Las Vegas City. The Strip.
It's closer into town.
In any event, the misinformation is a crime there now, but they haven't said what the
or what
penalties
misinformation is,
or what the hell misinformation is. Yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah.
is that you have to define misinformation, and they won't do that. This is
what's purposeful.
Yeah, everything's
purposeful.
nebulous. They've left everything nebulous.
Right, so they can come and get you. This morning on the way here, I heard an advertisement for a thing called touchgermblock.com.
And
Go to it. So while you're looking at it, so just as an intro, if we eliminated all germs, we would die. All germs touching us, we would eventually be the boy in the bubble, and we would die. Our immune system doesn't have anything to fight against. It gets weak, and we die, which is what I believe, anecdotally, why kids have a lot of asthma. The asthma cases have skyrocketed because all of the antibacterial soap. We try and clean everything to the nth degree instead of drinking out of the garden hose like we did when we were kids and eat dirt sandwiches and all that stuff.
Right.
So
pick up worms.
So here's this thing called Touch Germ Block. It apparently, according to the radio ad, it makes a barrier,
like a second skin.
I don't even know if you can use it on skin or you have the website up.
I do.
But they were talking about it. It lasts a long time.
Choose its active ingredient kills 99.9% of disease-causing germs for up to 6 hours. It's a portable aerosol spray. It will not dry out your hands, but it will soften and moisturize your hands with essential oils, unlike alcohol-based sanitizers. There's 120 applications per can. Safe for children. No eye hazard. It doesn't really say what the hell it does.
But it blocks. It kills germs.
Yeah, for up to 6 hours. Kills 99.9% of disease-causing germs.
That was the point of the radio commercial, that it lasts a long time. So you can kill germs for this extended duration, and then as soon as it's over, you die. Because your immune,
holy crap!
Because your immune system has never seen this germ before because you kept it out.
It's like the train. It's like the bus going under 87 miles an hour or whatever it is. Yeah. You got to keep putting on more of this stuff, or you're going to die.
And as soon as you stop, as soon as you run out, you die. But it's just this idea, and I blame the soccer moms and dads for all this shit. Oh, we got to keep little Johnny safe, little Susie safe. We're going to wash their hands and disinfect everything. And no, you can't touch that worm. No, you can't go outside and dig in the dirt. No, now you got asthma and you die.
I picked up a snake the other day and it pooped on me.
What?
Yeah,
I did. I was pulling a snake. It was a little snake in the garden, and
You pulled your snake?
I was pulling the snake in the garden.
And it pooped.
Oh yeah, have you never seen a snake poop?
I had a worm poop on me.
It's nasty.
Right out the back.
Yeah, it's like when you pull it, it's like, oh god. And it was nasty.
And frogs pee on you. So
yes,
when you
they
pick
do.
up a frog,
and those little bastard grasshoppers, they spit all over you.
But the whole point is,
picked up a grasshopper?
Never had a grasshopper.
You wash your hands with regular soap and you're fine.
I just lick it off.
You could do that.
Snake poop. I lick it off and just move on.
I tested Julia early on. We were walking out of the store, and she gets in her car. It was a couple months after we met. She gets in her car, and what does she do? She grabs a sanitizing thing and wipes her hand. And I went, and I'm showing. I licked my palm. I went, oh no, I don't need that. Yep.
I did that once. Not licked his palm, but I went to Kroger early on in this whole morass, and one time I came out and put hand sanitizer on my hand, and because it was getting to me, and I went, what the hell am I doing? I did that one time and never again.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even wipe the handles of the carts down with those stupid wipes.
No, it's dumb, and it's detrimental. It is absolutely a scientific fact. It is detrimental. We start killing off those bacteria.
Shit. I'm telling you, we need to go to the mall and start licking the freaking handrails on the escalators.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
You mean you want to join me?
Got to keep those freaking got to keep those
It's
antibodies
absolutely
up.
true. If you are not stressing your immune system, it is weakening. That is just a fact.
You want to stress your immune system? Get married.
Yeah. Okay. How much time do we have till the music?
You know what? I'm not going to tell you because there's a clock right there.
3 minutes, but I don't know what it means. So 3 minutes to the break.
You ever notice that
3 minutes to the break, Dave? Go.
You ever notice that if you look at a clock, a digital clock, and it says 11:54, but on an analog clock it looks like 6 minutes until noon?
Yeah. So back to General Miley, General McKenzie, and that piece of shit Austin. Well, actually both.
Mm-hmm.
So the big thing about this House and Senate hearings,
Yes.
talking about him
The
resigning.
Afghanistan hearings?
Well, yeah, there's specifics. So, but resigning. You know, Miley's not going to resign.
Oh,
He
yeah.
serves at the pleasure of the president.
Unless he's in a communist mood.
Right. But the point is, he's an embarrassment. So yeah, he's and the one where he said, "Well, I'm not going to quit because I gave president advice that he didn't take. I'm not going to get my feelings hurt or something to that effect."
Right. Unless it's Trump.
Yeah, unless it's Trump. But so at least it's a naval tradition. If you are the captain of a ship and you're asleep, it's 2 a.m., you got to sleep sometime, and your ship crashes into something, you get fired. You were asleep because you were responsible.
Captain goes down with the ship.
Right, but I don't know if the other services do that. I imagine the Marine Corps does. If you're in command has a big presence. If you're command of a naval vessel, you can put people on bread and water. You are the absolute authority on that ship.
I thought the medical officer was the authority on the ship.
You can. I don't know if
Really?
the Air Force is like that.
No, the medical officer can handle the captain. That's about the only person who can besides the.
But that's what I'm saying. Does that not make the medical officer the ultimate authority?
necessarily.
No. Get
Okay.
off the Star Trek thing, McCoy.
It has nothing to do with Star Trek.
The whole point is that you are the absolute authority on a ship. I don't know
Okay.
about the Army or the Air Force. Marines probably say, but if you're in command, it's different to be in charge of something, an officer in charge,
Right.
and command. Command is a whole other level. So if you are in command, you have the ultimate authority to do things, but you also have the ultimate accountability.
Right.
So
with great
Right.
power comes
Power
great
comes-
responsibility.
So that Miley, that piece of shit, and Austin, a former general, they have stumbled. Whatever happened, I want to talk about the details a little bit.
No, you have a minute.
A minute and 9 seconds. Specifically, I think it was McKenzie that said, "Whoa, we couldn't keep Bagram open, Bagram Air Force Base in Afghanistan.
Right.
We couldn't keep it open because that would have put 5,000 troops in harm's way, holding open that base."
Which made no sense.
Which, well, it doesn't make sense in my OCD brain either. One, because there's a perimeter. The American troops are inside the rings of defense from the Afghans.
Right.
If you see the Afghans run, you know something bad's coming, but they're still out there. But guess how many troops came in for the NEO, which, if you've heard NEO is non-combatant evacuation operations, and
How
that's
many?
what the removal of the civilians was.
Right.
Okay.
5,000 troops. So that guy's
They all
full,
lied.
He's full of shit.
They all lie.
And now we'll come back after the break.
They all lie.
After the break, we'll come back and talk more
You know, when I say we're going, we'll be back. Where are we going exactly?
I'm going to go to the
Where are we
bathroom.
going to be back from when we come back?
I'm going to go get a haircut.
Because I'm not moving.
Me either.
Just a thought. It's your Daily Mojo.
A free exchange.
Not a program director. Don't say we'll be back. Where are you going?
Oh, you're not supposed to say that?
Like I gave a crap.
Are you going with me to get my shipping?
I was going to ask you about that. Where was it? Where is it? Because I was going to say yes, but then I have been informed of a destinational situation.
You can tell me offline.
Yeah. Because it's a matter of national security.
Yeah, it's just north of Denton on 35.
In Oklahoma?
The Red,
What's that?
Red River. I'm going to buy shipping containers from my shop today.
Oh.
And I invited Brad, and he ignored
Do
me.
you? No, I didn't ignore you. Actually, I asked you a question that you never
You
answered.
did not. You asked somebody else.
I asked you that question.
You
I
did
can
not.
That you look at your. He doesn't see things wrong.
What's it say? What do you think you said?
I know. I said.
They're excellent with butter.
Yeah.
I said where we got to go.
Is that to me directly? Or
Yes,
the group
it's
one?
right above the Pfizer one that you didn't see.
Oh, I thought that was part of the Pfizer. All right.
Wow.
I'll give you that one.
I brought the receipts.
I did read the Pfizer one, but I thought it was the frontline doctors. I thought they were the frontline doctors were talking about it. So
They
that's-
probably were, but there has been FDA or there's been testimony at a hearing that we're not hearing. Did you know that? I mean,
Concerning what?
it's not ivermectin, the vaccine. Get off the Trek, McCoy.
The Daily Mojo.
See, F in Florida man pays attention. He just tweeted, "Get off the Trek, McCoy," because that's what Dave said, and that's like that has nothing to do with Star Trek. Let's see. What is it? Oh, I don't know why everybody keeps saying the Army is woke. I'm offended, and it's Millie with purple hair, right?
Yeah, and a rainbow for his
And a
ribbon.
rainbow. Who doesn't have a rainbow? But seriously, can't the ship's doctor take down the ship's captain?
No.
And what if the ship's doctor tells the ship's captain he has to get 5 hours of rest because he's no longer fit for command? So captain follows the orders of ship's doctor, goes to get 5 hours of rest, ship crashes in the middle. Whose fault is that? Still the captain?
The doc's not going to do it. There's. I'll bet
So you're saying there's no possible way in the universe that could happen?
practically.
No, that's not what I asked. I said, is it possible?
No.
Thank you, counselor. Next witness, please. A Michigan man won $45,000 in the lottery. It was a lottery game.
They found him dead, huh?
Oh, they did. They found him dead with that in his wallet.
He drowned.
Isn't
He
that-
drowned with the
the
winning
ticket?
lottery ticket in his hand.
Isn't that another line
What?
for Alanis Morissette? Isn't that
what?
ironic?
Isn't that ironic?
But it's not ironic. There's
Okay.
nothing ironic about rain on your wedding day.
I
There's
got you.
nothing ironic about good advice that you didn't take.
So did he kill himself? Because if somebody else had killed him, they would have taken
What?
that ticket, right?
Or is that just a rumor?
Yeah.
Is that just a rumor?
Ironic.
He didn't kill himself.
Does she still make albums?
Yes. Alanis Morissette, she does. She's a mother now.
It must be a bummer though to have gone to that height, that level, and then now not really. No one wants to hear you saying.
She gets mailbox money. She doesn't care.
Well, no, but money's not everything. You got to have something to do. You do.
Says, have you ever noticed that people with money are the ones who say money isn't everything, Ron?
Money isn't everything because they
See?
have lots of money.
Right.
already.
It's just
I didn't say everything. You still have to have something that occupies your.
right. Money can't buy happiness, but it certainly can buy the things that make you happy.
Well, you can rent some happiness.
Well,
too.
what do they say? It's just as easy to love a rich man as a
Have
poor
you
one.
seen? Have you seen that show that Alanis Morissette's the judge on?
No.
It's pretty cool.
Is it
really?
hosted by Demi Lovato?
No, she's a judge with. God, I can't remember the other
What do they
person's name.
judge?
It's called Alter Ego, and it's literally. It's a game show where people wear. Okay, so you've seen the movie.
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
love that one.
What's the blue? The Pandora.
You got this.
movie.
You got this. Come on, sounds to sound. How many syllables? The hell are you talking
It's
about?
on the tip of my tongue. My
Pull it off.
Alzheimer's kicking in real bad. Not altered carbon. Come on.
Oh,
people
yeah,
know.
altered carbon.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Okay,
The,
so
the
go,
giant blue people.
Avatar.
Avatar. Son of a
Did I-
bitch.
did I
Okay.
win?
Yes.
Did I win? So what did I win? I love it when I win.
So you know how they filmed Avatar with the actors wearing this headgear and everything like that.
Right.
So the contestants on this game show wear all of that gear, and so what the judges see is literally a holographic type projection of their alter ego, and that's what they judge them by. And
How?
Alanis Morissette's one of the judges on there.
Do they sing?
Grimes, Elon Musk's wife.
Do they
She's-
sing?
she's
Is
a
it what do they
judge.
do while
Yeah,
they're wearing the
yeah,
Avatar
they-
thing?
No, they sing.
Sex acts?
Oh,
No,
that's
it's singing.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad
It's kind
to
of weird. It's kind of cool.
Is
I
it-
mean,
Is it like that? But that's the same show as when they have the fuzzy. You're inside the suit, like the Disney suit. Isn't there? There's a
there
show?
is a show like that, but
Are you
that's
talking
actually,
about furries? Because you got to
No,
watch
that's
or talk about furries.
That's actually real life, though, Dave. This is all computer graphics.
Oh, okay.
Jack Ruby
Yeah,
all
Both,
over you.
yeah. Okay, I'm glad Alanis is.
Did you know
God,
Chris?
like
Did you,
Avatar. Why
did
I
you know
have
Chris-
so much problem with
It's
that?
James-
you know
James
Christy
James.
Nome was boffing Corey Lewandowski?
That's what I heard, but she says that's BS.
Yeah.
But would you?
Off
man.
Corey
Hey.
Lewandowski, I'd be all over him.
Hey,
Are you kidding? Oh, yeah.
I looked at houses in South
With
Dakota
Corey
just to
Lewandowski.
be
Would
near
you?
her. I did.
Did you
I was
really?
moving. Oh yeah. I went up there.
I think she's had some work done.
Oh, I had worker.
She
Holy
Look, she's a pretty nice lady.
ask Lewandowski.
But
if
they
it's-
didn't care for her at first.
She said, yeah.
The
Well,
South Dakotans didn't care for her at
Well,
first.
now they're coming down on her for
Oh.
getting her saying that she fast tracked her daughter's real estate appraiser.
Well, no shit.
license.
So would I. But I mean, that's the
Well,
way
she
this
did or
stuff
not.
works. I'm not saying she's shouldn't get in trouble or face some kind of repercussions, but
She should
really,
get spanked.
really,
She should be spanked.
I mean, really,
Shouldn't
we're gonna go out and let.
She should be spanked.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
I know, but
Just saying.
but Hunter Biden doesn't get nothing. So it's all a political game. Okay, back to those pieces of shit that run the military. So what I was getting at was they're lying, and they should be resigning.
They should be spanked as well.
They should be resigning because any sense of impropriety, and you resign. You do it for the good of the service because you're making an embarrassment, a
Right.
mockery. You're causing a situation
Wait a minute. Did you say they're making a mockery?
of the United States military. And
Isn't that pretty much been the standard operating procedure for just about everything in this
but the
government
military has always been. I know there's some political stuff in it, but of the rest of the government, the military has usually been above most of that political stuff. With that, I mean, as a
Right,
whole,
yeah.
as a whole.
Yeah.
But with that dipshit, I think one of them said, "Oh well, it's not political. It's not bullshit." When you make general rank or admiral rank, it's all political.
It's
together.
all. That's all it is.
Yes.
It can't be anything else.
It can't be. But as a whole, the military is usually set to a higher standard. It's usually not mired in that stuff. In fact, you're not supposed to
Until
be.
now.
Until now. And those I can't say McKenzie because I don't know him, but if he defended giving up Bagram Air Force Base, he's complicit in it.
Yeah, and that was their whole. I remember them saying that we couldn't. It made more sense to stay and defend the embassy, so they took the international airport there. But even if let's just say for the sake of argument, all right, I see what you're saying, and sure. Why did they leave Bagram at 2 a.m. and leave all the crap there?
Right.
None of that makes any sense.
Without
it was more
notifying.
it was more cost efficient, obviously, to leave the stuff there. When I say cost efficient, what I'm saying is it did cost us a lot of money to buy it. It did cost us a lot of money to get there. But when we're talking about leaving the country,
right,
to pick up all of that equipment and move it, they didn't want to.
How much is C4? You put all the vehicles in an air, blow them all up so they can't use them.
Well, do they or do they not disable those vehicles?
Right, but they said they didn't have keys.
Right, but
Money.
yeah, but you put
that'll get 'em.
so back to this. I'm a taxpayer.
Right.
I don't give a flying flip if it takes us an extra couple of months or 6 months. The whole point of the military is we plan out the wazoo. And if they're saying, "Oh, well, this was a surprise," it's bullshit. It is complete and utter bullshit that this was a surprise. The Taliban was taking over the way they were, and that we had to rush out. Hey, you know what? F you. We're gonna take another 6 months. We're gonna get this stuff out, or we're gonna, as you say, not blow it in place, but a thermite grenade on an engine block.
Whatever it takes.
Right, burn right through.
Yep.
Great. You got spare tires. Cool. Thermite grenades in gun barrels, melted, never used again. So all that stuff, it falls directly on Secretary Austin and Secretary Austin. So Miley is the Joint Chief of Staff.
Right.
He
Ironic.
He's an advisor. He
Yeah.
keeps saying that. So he doesn't have direct command to the SINC, which was General McKenzie. He's CENTCOM. So he has actual control of real things. People, armament, material. Miley does not. Miley is the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He's an advisory
He
role.
goes to the big meetings and then
he doesn't-
relays information.
But he doesn't call people and say, move the ships here, there. And That is not his job.
Right.
So, but Austin's is. But Miley's such a miserable shitbag that he's talking about all that stuff. I mean, it is
I'm
beyond.
getting the impression he doesn't like him.
Well, and with a disclaimer, I'm not. I wasn't an officer. I wasn't in the command. I'm not. I didn't go to.
The guy's a douchebag.
I didn't go to the war college, so but it's common sense. If you're going to back out of some place, if you're going to have a strategic retreat,
right?
You have the overwhelming force. You get to control that.
Yeah.
We didn't retreat like Dien Bien Phu, like the French did in Vietnam, where they got slaughtered.
Who?
Oh, sorry, the French.
Who's Dien Bien Phu?
Dien Bien Phu. It's a.
I've had that, I think, at Panda Express.
It's a,
Is it with or without mushrooms?
I think I caught that in Vietnam.
Was it spicy? Was it spicy? No, I'm just pointing out a time where that retreat was to save their lives.
Okay.
They got airlifted out at the last minute, and people got slaughtered.
Right.
Compared to where we're in Afghanistan, we didn't need to rush. There
No.
was no reason to rush. So even though my fiscal OCD says that's such bullshit to keep to have moved all of that equipment out, I'll go with Ron. Yeah, you could have just said, all right, we're going to write it off, but we didn't.
But we're willing to spend a gazillion dollars on whatever the hell we're spending a gazillion dollars on.
Right.
So wouldn't the lives and the lives of our people and those who have helped us in Afghanistan be higher on the food chain with regard to what we should be spending money on?
Yes.
So why, even if it did take an extra $500 million, we're saving hundreds of lives, thousands of lives.
Right. I still think, and that goes back to both of them saying that they wanted to keep 2,500 troops and that Biden didn't listen and then Biden lied. And I mean, I'm so tired.
Biden doesn't remember.
No, he doesn't remember. But any of those military folks, they need to fall on their swords. It's time to say, hey, you know what? It's time for me to retire. I had a good career, and they won't do it.
No,
it's complete.
They'll lose their pension, won't they? If they do that?
Oh no. They're past that. So you get at 20 years,
right,
you get 50% of your pay. At 30 years, you get 75%. There's no more.
Did Mike
that.
Flynn get his pension?
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he's at least. Well, you don't get to be a 3-star without doing at least.
I know they did a good job of breaking him. So
no, I mean it takes that long, at least 20 years. There's almost no way he didn't go 25, and in between there's a percentage. But you don't get any more for 30 years. You don't get any more for 31 years. You can only max out at 75% of your pay, your base pay. So anyway.
Did he save enough money to go to mypillow.com using promo code Mojo50 and save him some money on MyPillow? Because I mean, you got to have some comfort in your life, especially if you're dealing with asshats.
Yes.
F sticks and ass hats.
F sticks and ass hats.
That's the name of my autobiography. F sticks and
putting
ass
that on a
hats.
shirt as we speak.
Thank you.
And a beer mug. Come on.
Yeah.
Made from
So
China.
I mean, and you could wrap it all up in a nice little roll and go anywhere. My pillow, or perhaps a weighted blanket. You ever had a weighted blanket on you?
I don't like that.
I don't either. I panic.
Yeah, they're a little too heavy.
It's like,
I have a 15-pound one.
Let me go.
Oh,
Let me
yeah.
go.
It's like a hug. Don't get me wrong, but it's like eventually you just want let me out of the hug.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Stop hugging me.
Oh yeah.
I know it's a little. I don't know. So, but you know, beta males and women like them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you can get a MyPillow weighted blanket using promo code Mojo50 plus the MyPillow body pillow that you can have if you're too ugly to get somebody to sleep next to you. Just get the body pillow. Oh, and you know, if you're just tired of somebody sleeping next to you, get the body pillow and it never talks back.
True that.
Ever. You can tell it lies all night long.
Oh.
Never says a word. It's
All
the
right.
beauty of the MyPillow body pillow at mypillow.com, and you use the click on radio listener specials, use the promo code Mojo50, and wow, you can get Frank Speech yard signs.
What?
That's interesting. That's the first time I've seen these. FrankSpeech.com yard signs. It's Lindell's thing, and interesting.
Let's get one. put it out in the front of the
Well,
yard.
and Frank's speech, did that ever? I mean, we've got an account, so
we do. It's still up and running, but yeah, okay.
the problem is it's the problem with all of these. You get so accustomed to the old ways of doing things. I'm making excuses, and I shouldn't be, but that's what happens. The bulk of people are still on these other platforms.
Well, yeah, it's like Ron's facial recognition thing. Did you change that, Ron? Did you get off of it? Did you change it to a number? No. Comfort. It's easy.
It is. It's comfort.
I'm not
So,
taking
Ron,
it.
basically, you're the problem.
Apparently, I am.
So go to My Pillow and get a body pillow because Misty said, "Look, just tell him to get a body pillow, would you?"
That's
Just
right.
get a body
That's
pillow.
right next to the children's Bible story pillowcases, Brad.
That's a little creepy. Mojo 50 is the promo code. I'm sorry, I'm staring at weighted blankets or amaze balls, and is that Randy Savage? Anyhow, I'm sorry. What were you about to say?
Okay, we're going to talk about my other list.
You don't want to talk about the redesign of the American flag?
We talked. That's just so stupid. I can't even get it. This is real news.
So dumb.
It's so dumb. It's
All right. I have a challenge for you. Let's see if what you are about to say is something we already covered.
All right. The Washington
Yes.
University segregates housing specifically for black students.
Yes.
That's not incredible?
It's
worth a second.
It is stunning to me that we are back to segregation and people are now applauding it.
That's a great idea. Let's do that. Let's do
It's
that. It's a great idea.
How?
It's
and I'm gonna make the comparison to the Holocaust, which was a heinous act. And you wonder, how did that ever happen? How did these
it get to that
people
point?
get?
Yep.
Yes. How did they round up people, put them into boxcars, and take them to these camps and kill them?
Well,
how did we get there?
Well, that we didn't get there.
The
Well,
question
how
is
did
how
humans
how
get
did
there?
they allow themselves to
Right.
get there? Yeah.
How did the whole situation? Because it's almost unfathomable that and I'm not a denier, I know it happened, but it's like, how in the name of everything that's holy did we as human beings get to that point where people were saying, there's a Jew, and turning them in and having these people murdered? But you're starting to see the drips and drabs of what it's like.
Oh, it's clear now.
What in the hell?
But that's the whole hindsight thing.
Right, yes.
Right? At the time, they weren't seeing it, and that's
Right.
what people are afraid of now.
But you have an example. I know my brain's a little bit structured, but you're
That's one way to
seeing
put
it,
it.
and we're alive not to see the actual stuff, but our grandparents our parents we saw it in our people our age.
Yeah.
So and there are still people alive who went through that, and you can talk to them and see these tattoos that
She was talking in Canada, Holocaust survivor, saying, look, this is the environment that we were, that was present back then.
Right.
We're seeing it everywhere now. This is almost worse than what we, the lead up to the Holocaust. She says, wake up, people. And does she get any attention?
But that guy, the Canadian pastor, got arrested.
That's right.
So
not Lewandowski. What's his name?
How? He
See?
got arrested, and did you see the headline? MAGA pastor
Yeah.
for spreading lies. He did it in another country. How is it that Canada?
Artur Pawlowski.
But he got arrested for something he did in another country.
He was arrested on the tarmac of Calgary International Airport as he returned home after spreading lies about COVID-19 in the United States over the past 4 months. The controversial conservative preacher taken into custody this week. He was charged with contempt of court for an alleged violation that occurred on the 5th of June.
But he actually went back home to face those consequences.
Yeah.
What reason?
Well,
because he said it would have all been for naught if he didn't man up and face the consequences.
Agree.
Now, why were there consequences? That's a better question.
But just the fact that he could do something in another country where it's legal to come back, he didn't commit that crime where the laws bound him. How is that possible? That's scary too. How is that possible in Canada where you can be held accountable for something you did where it wasn't against the law?
I see what you're saying.
I mean, does that make sense?
No.
It's kind of scary.
He could be sent to prison for 21 days. His brother could be sent to jail for 10 days. For what?
Yeah,
Helping him?
Maybe.
Oh, he was arrested in May along with his brother David for organizing, promoting, and attending an illegal gathering. They arranged church services, I think this was in when they were still in Canada, that didn't follow mask and social distancing rules. Both of them were found guilty of contempt in June after purposefully disregarding COVID-19 mandates.
Okay, so they arrested him for something he did in Canada, but politicized what he did here over the last 4 months, and then arrested him on the tarmac as if he was some kind of terrorist.
This is...
Yes.
I know.
It's that.
It's the loss of words. I don't have any idea what... And again, the question, well, what do we do?
Well, I don't know.
Join your local school board. It's going to take decades. We're not fixing this next week.
There is that. I mean, Loudoun County keeps fighting. I mean, you got to give them credit. Those parents are fighting and fighting and fighting over how their kids. What's the McAuliffe in Virginia?
Terry McAuliffe. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we're not going to allow parents to tell us what to teach our kids in school. What do you say about that?
People wake up. Pull your heads out of your anal spasms. I mean, what?
Your restless anal spasm.
Your restless anal spasm. Oh, before I know it says we got 7 minutes, but
we really don't. That clock's like 5 minutes past.
Indictment. What about Matt Gaetz? Remember, he was the child.
Oh yeah, he was a child molester
he's
from
going
way
down.
back.
Indictment is ready.
Yeah.
Indictment is ready. It's ready.
Trump's been going to go to prison now for 5 years.
5 years.
Wait until you're in prison.
Yeah.
Trump.
What's that piece of shit? The House of Representatives that was doing what's the guy's in charge of the impeachment process?
Which one?
Well, there's
Nadler.
Not
Bug-eyed.
Yeah, Bug-eye.
Yeah.
I mean, we have evidence.
Yes,
I have
he
seen
lied.
it. I have seen it, and no
He
one.
lied.
But the 38% still believes him.
Because Trump.
38% of the people.
Because Trump.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
And
that
that's-
just gives them an excuse.
It's.
See, that's like the Germany thing. Oh, well, we were just following orders.
Right.
We were just following orders. Everybody was doing it, and we thought it was our job to turn in the Jews and turn them into, cinders.
We were just doing what we
What we thought.
That's
it's
it.
not our fault. It's not our fault.
It is before we go away, I wanted to bring up the fact that in New York City, they've had to set up the restaurants have had to set up these what they're called dining sheds outside so that people can sit in these enclosures and have dinner because otherwise COVID. So there are people sitting in, it's the Greenwich Village restaurant bar, and there are people sitting out front in this dining shed, and a New York City trash truck comes along, guy's on his cell phone, hits the shed, and pushes it like 10 feet.
Oh.
This is now New York City. Let's see. What did they say? Sanitation workers have an incredibly difficult job keeping our streets clean, according to their spokesperson. We are relieved that no one was hurt in the incident. We'll be conducting a full investigation. How? What?
Is the shed like the cone of silence?
Apparently.
Does it have a hermetically sealed opening and with the filtered air and all that? It's just like going in when they did it here. You had to walk into the restaurant with the mask, and then you could sit down for 45 minutes and spew stuff all over.
And then stand up and put your mask on.
Yeah. I'm going to visit. I'm going to visit grandkids at the end of the year. I can't even. I'm not sure I want to go back to California.
I can't get on a plane. I cannot. I can't. I'm just not going to do it.
Not going to do it.
I cannot sit there and pretend stupid for 3 hours to whatever. I just can't.
Well, it's worse if you land in California and you can't go into anywhere without a mask.
I cannot do that. It's too much. It's pretending.
It is, Brad. But what are you going to do?
I don't know. But for
you're
shit's
captive
sake,
in a freaking capsule that they manage and run and operate. You can argue all day long.
I'm not. Well, that's just it. I don't want to argue because
just don't
It's a
go.
stupid argument.
Get in the
No,
car
I
and
agree.
drive.
No, I agree. I love watching the videos. I'll go down that rabbit trail any day. Public freakouts on the airplanes.
Right.
When you knew damn good and well you were going to be required to wear a mask.
Right. Well, but
you get
remember
on there and pitch a effing fit because you don't want to wear one.
the 2-year-old kid, though. Come on.
That was ridiculous.
That was
But
absolutely
adults,
ridiculous.
I agree with Ron. I don't like it anymore, but I knew when I bought the ticket, okay, they're gonna make me wear this mask.
Yep.
But I am gonna drink my water like this, a capful at a time.
But you can't even now. They're
Depends on the crew.
well,
Depends
yeah.
on the crew. I've been flying quite a bit. It depends on the crew. Some of them are like, we will whip you
with
we
a
will
horse rein.
with this if you so much as move your head without your mask. I mean, but some of them don't really care as much. But I drink the water and I do it through the airport. I walk through the entire airport without my mask.
Disney made you stop doing that. See,
With the bottle.
Disney says no. If you're going to drink, you got to sit down. Be in one place.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I do my best to get
I
back.
hate this planet.
And then I put Mojo stickers everywhere.
That's what I think of the planet now.
He said, I hate this planet.
I know. There ain't no other one.
All right.
Dude, I got all my whole list. Isn't that
Well,
great?
good, because look what time it is.
Yeah. What do you mean my ass hurts? My ass is spasming.
What is wrong? One job. All you had to do was
I
push
set the
one
volume
button.
Down, dude. I had the volume down. You want me to start it over?
No.
I can start
It's
it
the
over.
end of your 2 hours of for Thursday, the 30th, the last day of the world's existence.
My brother's
This is it. This is the end of it.
He said, oh, shit.
My brother's birthday.
Right? So let's see what the people are saying here on the Twitterverse. Let's see. This is all I learned today. B from the SAV. The world is caving in and we all need to get in touch with our members. Yep,
Yes.
that's it. Whiskey 6 is looking forward to Friday, but why? It's just 2 more days till Monday. I mean,
Way to kill it.
right? Let's see. Wisconsin Jockhole says, hi, Dave.
Hey.
And 6% Cesar Podway. It's Lindell's thing. It is. I'm not. Would I put a Frank Speech poster in my front yard? I don't know that I don't know. I don't know anything anymore.
I don't know.
I think we should all research the Baldo today and
The what?
see what it's about.
The who?
The Baldo.
What's the
It's on
ball?
Indiegogo.
What's
just,
the ball?
Just search Baldo tech specs.
Like BALLDO?
BALLDO. Yep.
Baldo.
That's Baido. If it's Spanish, it ain't Baldo
Yep.
if it's got 2 L's.
For those of you from south of the border, research Baedo.
Baedo. Baedo.
Alan Trotter in the Facebook chat room says, hopefully the employer wouldn't ask to verify that restless anal syndrome. Sir,
true.
I'm sorry. You're going to have to provide proof.
Hey, does Dodd no longer have a...
And he says, okay.
Dodd no longer has an iPhone.
Well, there you have it. Coming up next over most of these Mojo 50 radio stations is the encore performance of...
It's an encore of an encore.
Of an encore of an encore. It's just a nice way of saying they weren't wearing pants. Abnormal Reality is coming up next, and it is...
An encore of an encore. Because
Good.
we were out last night.
Now, if you are listening to the podcast, literally you could listen to anything you want right after this.
Literally.
Your Daily Mojo made possible by the anal retentive fingers of Ron Phillips. Spin those dials, radio style right over there. Remember, the smallest minority on earth is you, the individual. Those who deny individual rights cannot claim to be defenders of minorities. 6 Semper Tyrannis, resist stupid. Good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are.
The bell count, as it is next.
Clear?
Do you have your phone?
It just hurts me. It just...
Did you look up the Baldo?
Good morning, Mojo 50. I'm Leprechaun, and here with the bell count for the Daily Mojo, Thursday, September 30th, 2021. Today there were 3 missed innuendo bells from Brad, grab my snake in the yard and going down, Dave, a Hummer, and actual bells, a couple of oh my goshes,
That's a good one.
and a correct answer. Peace out, boys. Stay healthy. Talk to y'all mañana.
You have the best voice. like he's.
Hey, see if you can text Dodd.
Well, hang on. Before we do that, we have to.
Aureate. Aureate.
Aureate.
Aureate.
Aureate.
Aureate.
It's an adjective,
Yes, to speak.
not to orate.
Oh.
It's aureate.
Has
Aureate.
something to do with hearing. Oral.
What?
Oral.
See what I did there?
Oral.
I got him wrong.
Oral.
Like
Aureate.
laureate.
Oral.
aureate. You know what it is, Ron.
Aureate.
Aureate.
It's like your taint. It's golden or gilded.
Oh. Nobel laureate.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I think I went to high school with him.
Yeah, probably did.
Right?
You didn't.
Okay.
I was there.
You know what I'm about to say?
That is a wrap.
He's dead too.